journey towards becoming the irresistible new you. Contact TNU at 0533 659 222. That is 0533 659 222. Or follow them on Instagram and Facebook at TNU Fitness. Trust them that your future self will thank you. Let me mention that we are partnering with them for this Saturday's All Women's Fitness Meetup. So you're going to meet the lovely women from TNU when you stop by on Saturday. Remember, you've got to register to be a part of the All Women's Fitness Meetup. It is absolutely free to do so, to join in, but you have to register so we can adequately prepare for you. It's our Duffy's Easier Motherhood Series. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. You can join in the conversation. This morning, I have with me Karen Halm. She's CEO of Spectra Global, and I'm honored to have these two women because they have a lot on their plate. Very busy women, but they said yes when we called, and they're here to encourage. It's from one mom to another. Let me just appreciate our sponsors this morning: Duffy's Health and Beauty and TNU.
Duffy's Oyema Feminine Miss Genty. A massa bosomene so Emma. Ye buyansa yente ya obia. Esa siesie mankasa. Duffy ebusuana ekese. Yentie dia manfo kafa enupa no. Duffy shower gel. Empo na mani. Ye wotuntum die. Ena kokko die. Wo di dware a ema natural look.
Mesu de misu Duffy's feminine cleanse and then capsules ne siesie na. Ema me nten carbon bia me jimi hu dia ankasa.
Duffy nupa no. E ho dance e bebre. Duffy sana. Abama yenyina.
Open the do it to Duffy's Health and Beauty Ewo East Legon American House Kumasen so ye Bank Tech Hospital enye mapem for
FDA aje edwedin kato yatu.
Let me get to my guest this morning. I'll let them do a quick introduction, though I've done that. Maybe they can tell us more, but then, of course, they get to tell us about their children, the families, how it's been going so far. Let them describe their journey of motherhood, probably in a word or two at this moment in their lives. So let me start. Let's start with. I didn't even ask the question, and Karen is pointing fingers. Karen, because you used to point fingers way back in school. You were one of those students. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. You can join in the conversation. So before she tried, I was trying to say, but I think she discerned what I was going to say. That who do I start with? I'm going to start with Dr. Ewurama Idun. Tell us about your family, Dr. Ewurama. You can join us. We're live.
Okay. I have 3 biological children, but I have other children.
How many other children?
So in total, those who have stayed in my house, we have about 10 children.
You've stayed in a house with 10 children?
About 10 children, yes.
Hey.
That is those who have stayed in my house. My mom, those who are outside, and I'm still being a mother to them.
So you mean at a point in time you've had 10 children living with you?
Yes, we have. Yes.
How have you
For
done?
a very long time, yes.
I feel like I have 1 million in my home. If I had 10, I would.
Yeah,
that's
I had about 10 children stay in my house. In addition, so 7 in addition to, or even more. I've even lost count.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Over the past probably 15 years or more, they've been staying with me in the same house.
How do you manage 10 children in one house?
Well, with planning.
Please share with me.
It comes with planning, so you organize your life, you plan very well, and make sure that everybody does what they're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
At a point in time, we have things like inspection day.
Really?
Where on Saturday morning, because I don't want to talk plenty about who is cleaning this place. I'm not the one supposed to do it. So we share roles very well. And then on Saturday, everybody will do whatever they're supposed to do. Everybody's in charge of a part in the house. So I'll go out with my husband, we'll go and do the inspection, and we label the rooms: girls' room, boys' room, this room. So
it's like military right now.
So whoever is first, you get a very wonderful reward. And those days, the reward may not be much. I mean, we just take you out.
Okay.
Without even buying everything for you, and they are fine. And those who didn't get reward, we leave them in the house. And they will cry, but we leave them in the house. And then the next time you see that everybody is looking sharp. So it all comes with planning. I mean, adding more fun to make motherhood very Other than that, you'll be stressed.
So you were the one cooking for the 10 children?
Yes, I was.
I never get my portions right, even with 3 children. I don't know. That's interesting.
So they help us with everything. So you'll be cutting this one will be doing that, this one will be doing that. So, including the guys. I remember I made the boys know this, the one they use for TZ.
Yo-yo,
Yes,
I think so.
some
Yo.
leaves. So I used to let the boys do that one.
Okay.
And it wasn't so pleasant for them, but well, we were sharing roles.
You were sharing roles.
So it wasn't easy, but it comes with fun.
Interesting. This is Sunny 88.7 FM. I have a message that says, yes, my mom was a nurse. There were years when she had to work on Christmas Day, New Year's Eve. Then I learned the term essential services. One year she lost a patient on my birthday. That is 2 days to Christmas. The patient was a teenage girl. And that Christmas was not. She wept. It was one of the moodiest Christmases of my growing years. So we'll get into how you managed your shift work, having 10 children at home to cater for. But at the moment, let's talk about what's the age bracket of your children now?
Okay, for now, apart from my pension baby who is 16, the rest are all above 20. And some of them are married and left me. And
so you're mom-in-law or mom-in-love now? You're a mother-in-law now?
Yes, I am. I think 3 of them are married.
Okay.
That is those who stayed in my house. Minus those who are outside.
Okay. Let me get to Karen. Karen, you are a busy architect. How many children? Tell us about your family.
Okay, I don't have 10 children. I wouldn't have survived with 10 children. I have 3 children. I have 2 boys and a girl. So the boy is 15, he'll be turning 16 in December.
Okay.
The second one is also a boy, and he's 12. And then the last one is a girl, also called Karen.
Oh, lovely.
And she's 10.
Wow.
Yes.
I want to know how you've both managed to the journey of motherhood along the various stages of your children's development. Which one would you say was like the toughest for you? Or if it is still now, and how you are probably navigating that. Maybe let me get to Dr. Ewurama on that. Your children are much older, so you've seen it all, I would say.
That's the earliest part of their lives.
Okay.
Maybe up to the age.
Please get closer to your microphone for me.
Up to the age of, let's say, 6, 7. Those were the toughest time when you have to wake up early in the morning, get them ready for school, and you also have a shift system. So maybe you are at work in the afternoon, go to pick them up, and when they come home, go to be with, and all sort of things. I mean, those are the toughest time.
When you were going through that period, how did it feel?
It was tough, especially waking up early, sending them to school. You know, around that time, I had also started my specialty to be a radiologist.
Okay.
So combining school with these very little ones was not too easy. That was something my father told me, that whilst they are young, try to do the work, because after some time they will all leave you. And you wish you were doing it, but you can't do it. So I had to actually organize my life very, very, very well. Organize my life very, very well. We had times that they have to wake up, times they have to have their breakfast, times that they sleep, and those things helped me very well. And if I know I have a shift, I have to make sure that their meals are ready, their uniforms. If I'm on night duty, definitely I will come home after they have gone to school. And my husband was very supportive. He will be sure that in the morning they take their bath and then send them to school. At times I had to go to the markets. I was doing cooking once a month because I can't cook every day. So I go to that time Malam.
Okay.
Get all the stuff, and then take one day. If it's a Saturday, make sure I cook everything, stew, all sort of stews.
For a month?
Yes, for a month. I still do it. Then I get small bowls and I put them in very small bowls. So when you come to my freezer, I have a lot of bowls, color coded for toast, for garden egg stew, for this, for soup, everything. So that I mean, I will not now come in to cook stew, or so if it's just rice, just put in the rice cooker, then it's fast. Make your life very easy. Other than that, you'll be stressed.
How did you manage times when, what, if that is if you experience it, when it was special days, like she's talking about Christmas, New Year's Eve, and maybe you had to go to work and your children wished they had their mom with them. Did you have experiences like that? How did you manage it?
Not too much, because during those days, during Christmas, we find a way of letting our guys at work. I mean, they'll sympathize with you as a mother. I don't remember.
God bless these gentlemen wherever they are.
I don't remember. I mean, skipping Christmas or anything like that. Sometimes holidays, because we had days that we go out. I mean, sometimes to the beach. I mean, we had chilling moments. So sometimes holidays, they know that mommy is coming to probably take us out for somewhere, and then I have to go to work. But apart from holidays, Christmas and those things, our guys were so sympathetic with us. So they will take up, and then we, the mothers, will go and take off our children.
Special shout out to the guys at our workplaces who understand motherhood and step in when they are needed. Let me get to Karen. You've shared the age ranges of your children. Which part would you say has been like most challenging for you as a mom?
The part that has been most challenging, I would say, would be 0 to 6. When you know, the thing with the motherhood thing is, whilst you are in a phase of your life where you are trying to build your business or trying to build your career, and you still are trying to raise a family, so you have two spheres of your life tagging at you at the same time. So the most challenging season, I would say, would be when they were below like 0 to 6, 0 to 8, where they needed a lot of attention. So I remember those days, like Dr. Rama has said, I have to wake up like and don't forget, in the midst of all that, you are still trying to put yourself together as a woman and as a wife. So you are juggling a lot of things. I remember those days I'll be going to work and I have spare everything. I had spare shoes, spare clothes. I have a whole ice chest of food because and I even had to change career path. I had to shift from mainstream practice into academia, and I did that for 4 years. So once I had my last baby, then I left academia and then I went full-time. So for me, my journey was, I was working with a firm, architectural firm, where I had absolutely no control over my time, over my schedule. You just had to be there 8 to 5. When I realized that I was pregnant with my first one, the first 3 months was very difficult. It was the whole thing, like, it was like my whole life was turned upside down because you wake up, you are vomiting, and you still have to be at work. So it was very difficult. So that was when I looked at, there was opportunity to go and teach. So I opted for that one, flexible, and indeed it was. Okay. So I stayed there for 4 years, published some papers. I enjoyed the teaching season, and because it was more flexible, what I did was, before my kids, they were young, so I had to carry them along. In fact, that was the first one. I had to carry him along. So there are times that I have a lesson, and he will be in the car with a driver or something. Or sometimes I'll ask one of my fellow lecturers that I'm doing 2 hours. My baby is here. Can you keep an eye? Oh. So sometimes in between lectures, so let's say we have a period of 40 minutes. Between that 40 minutes, I'll quickly run down and go to the car, go and breastfeed him, and then come back up. This time I was breastfeeding him, and because when the car was parked, it was a little public, so I covered the top of my boob. Yes. And the boy was suckling. I don't know when he took off the handkerchief.
These boys.
He just got the handkerchief, he threw it away, and he was just rubbing. Full angle. He just was rubbing
massaging for his milk.
So I had to have I had to be very flexible because you see, at that phase in your life, if you don't accept that this is the phase where you can't be too fixated on anything, you will be very, very stressed. And another thing I did was I read a lot. Okay. And I'm big on, I receive a lot of mentorship. So when I see a woman who has been where I am. Like, I'm totally admiring Dr. Ewurama. Now she's a grandma, she's an in-law. I am nowhere near there. you know.
We tend to, I'm afraid to even ask how many grandchildren. I'm afraid.
So she's going to be my new friend right now. But I do that a lot, so I knew what to expect.
Okay.
I knew that, like, when you are training the children from, so you have like 4 phases. You have, I'm not at the last phase yet. You have the discipline stage, that is like 0 to 5, 0 to 6, where you are disciplining them on, they know when to wake up, when to sleep, they know meal time, they know play time. So you give them, you infuse that structure, and then from there you do the training where you teach them. So whilst you're in the kitchen, while you are sleeping, while you are working, they are sitting right next to you, they are doing it with you, right? And then that is how they learn. You will lose some plates, you will lose some glasses, they will spill the milk, but that is how they learn. But if you don't know that, you feel very frustrated, and then you start yelling at them, and then it takes the joy and the spirit out of the children. So for the young mothers, I'd say that read and learn. Whenever you hear about a seminar on parenting, what I just shared with you is the seminar I attended when I think I had my first son. So it was easier. I knew what I was doing through the ages. And then after the training, now I'm at the phase where I'm at the coaching stage with them, where do and let me see.
All right.
So they cook and I observe, and then I correct as they are cooking. They do the dishes, I observe and I correct them. They lay the bed, and then, because I've taught them how to do it, so now I don't do it for them. But you see, if you miss the discipline stage and you miss the training stage, if you now try to train them when you're supposed to be coaching them, you're going to have a lot of hard time. Right? And it's even much worse when they are in their like late teens, like 17, 18, and you are now trying to get them to, they are already built.
Late, yes.
You can't change them. Then you start complaining your kids are this, but no. Right? So this if you're a young person and you are hearing me, I think it's very beautiful. It will not be easy. When I saw Easy Motherhood, I smiled and I said to myself, motherhood
is not easy, sir.
It's not easy. But if you know what to expect, if you know what you are supposed to be doing at what stage, it makes it easier.
Yes.
But not easy.
Not easy.
Right? And then also, as a person, how you manage yourself. Because I remember back then, I used to feel very sad when I was still at the stage of changing diapers and breastfeeding and all of that, and I would see my male counterparts and they just get up and go.
Yes.
And I'm like seriously, I was smarter than these guys. What is happening with me? What is happening with my career? And but I had to then I spoke with another senior mother, and she was like, look, Karen, pace yourself. At this stage in which you are, so you have to look at what you can do, that you can still be a good mother, not miss the timing for raising these kids, and still get it done. Right? So that is when the reading came in. And then I shifted, like I said, to academia, and then I picked up other things in architecture that did not require me to be on sites, that did not require me to, that did not have stringent timelines and schedules and stuff like that. But during that season, I still made sure that in terms of career development and personal development, I did not let go of that, because that's another risk. You can say that, okay, now I'm raising my babies, so then you let yourself go in terms of, you let yourself in terms of what you look like, in terms of your personal development and things like that. If you do that, you are indeed going to be late when it comes to your career development or entrepreneurship and things like that. But look at what you can do, making the stage at which you are. If your kids are young, that becomes the pivot, and then you arrange the other areas of your life around it, and you'll be fine.
I think what you're talking about, there's a question I would just put you. This one came from one of our listeners who's been following this series, and I've been looking for the right person to ask, and I think today's the right day and the right place to ask. Where I have a message that says, yes, as mothers, we have to update ourselves every day. So this lady has been listening. She says, I want to further my education while leaving my children to someone's care. I've been stuck at work and opportunities are just not coming because I've not furthered my studies. I want to know how to go about it so my children are left in good hands. As for my husband, he's busy with work and all that, so he's not an option. My family is also in Tema, while my marital home is at Adenta. My mom isn't too well, so she's also not an option. And for her, this is the limbo she's in right now. She's been following the Easier Motherhood Series, and I'm thinking today seems to be a right time for her to get some help. Maybe we can start with Dr. Ram and then Karen will also come through.
I don't know the kind of whether whatever you want to do has to be with going outside the country, or within Ghana.
This appears to be within Ghana.
Well, if it's within Ghana, I think you can combine. It depends on how you organize yourself. As you just said, I mean, she found time to develop herself. If your husband is very busy, for you, I don't have. My husband is also busy, but when it comes to these things, you have to compromise and supplement each other, because it can't be all male doing everything and then the lady is left behind. As a woman, you have to also develop yourself. I think that if it is evening classes you have to take, or weekend classes, or anything that will fit into your schedule. You may not be able to have a full-time, maybe being away in a university full-time, but at least you can pick up, I don't know whatever course you want to do, but now I think it's flexible in the universities where you can have weekend classes, you can have, how do you call it, evening classes, so that after you are done with work, you still go and then have your studies done. It all comes with planning. You can get someone to help at this moment. I mean, if it's 2 years.
I think that's where she has a challenge. She's not sure about how to find who to leave the children with, so she's comfortable.
You need to find somebody. I mean, there are necessary evils. Sometimes you bring them in, there are challenges with that, but for now, that is the only help you can get, bringing them in or finding a place where you can take your children. I'm not too sure whether we have places around us you can leave your children there for them to maybe be taken care of, and then you pick them up later. But you need to get someone to help you. You just really need to get someone to help you.
I have a message here from my mom who's listening. She says, my dilemma now. The course I want to do is only offered full-time, and I really need it for career progression.
So that becomes a problem. When it's a full-time, something becomes a problem. I think the man should really help. And the mother is not well, so you cannot take the children to mom to take care of. It becomes a little challenge. I still personally think that you should try. It won't be more than 2 years. Try and cope with that 2 years. Bring in somebody to help, so you can finish your course and then upgrade yourself, get more money, take care of the children.
Let me get to Karen. Karen, what will be your thoughts on this for the moms out there who are in that phase of who do I leave these children with? Now the world is some way, people are some way. I don't want to go to school and I come back, then my children have been put through this and that. I mean, these are thoughts on moms' minds when you have to leave your children somewhere.
Okay. I mean, I wish I knew how old
she is. Okay, we don't have
these children are.
Okay.
Because you see, at a certain stage in your children's life, it is not safe for them to be left with total strangers.
Okay.
Especially when they are not able to express themselves properly, so that even if anything were to go wrong, they can't tell you, right? So if for now you don't have trusted hands to manage your children, what I would say, can you postpone this course for a couple of years? You see, like, motherhood is a lot of sacrifice. In your older years, if the children go wrong, you will feel it a lot more than your husband, right? You carry that weight a lot more. So if you cannot find, let's say, an after-school facility or a good preschool where you can keep them for the length of time you have to be in school, then it will not be the advice you are looking for. Then I will say that maybe postpone these lectures, or you can get an alternative where it's online, right? So that you do it you can kind of do it on the go. So if, let's say, I don't know what course you're going to read. If, let's say, you want to do a specialization course, right? For now, you can't sit in the classroom. But that course, at the end of the day, is the knowledge you are looking for. That course you want to read, can you get versions of it or snippets of it online in books and in short courses and stuff like that, so that during the period that you have to wait because of your children, you don't go rusty. You still have the knowledge available to you. You still grow, so that when the time comes, you have the peace of mind that, okay, my kids can take care of me, because there will come a time when they wouldn't need you so much.
Yes.
So, for example, I'm at a stage where when we go home, and I'm not even there, even my last born can put together dinner.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you say this again? 10, right? 10.
Right. She can put together dinner. So even if I'm not available, I'm not too worried. They know how to manage themselves. So this, if I want to get back on the band, like do a full-time course, now I can do it.
Now you can do it.
But 10 years ago, there was no way I could have gone for a course like that. So that's what I'm saying, that you need to pace yourself, right? It's just a sacrifice you have to. I mean, our mothers come in very handy, our mother-in-laws come in very handy, but where they're not available, and hubby
it's also not
available, then you just have to make sure that your kids are well covered first.
Well, she's typed a few messages. Says the only option, says I tried last year, but that was in combining, and she said she had to defer the course because stress was too much. She says the only option I see here is resigning from work, although it's a well-paid job. The money, sometimes I look at the money. Says for me, the children are my priority. I don't want to compromise. They are 5 and 4, and I feel this is the time to take the course because all the things I felt I needed to sacrifice till now are done.
Okay, can I say
yes,
something?
yes,
So,
Karen, you can come.
Once I met a mom, and like I had a talk somewhere, and she came up to me and she was like, I'm so stressed out. And I'm like, okay, tell me what is happening. And she says, okay, so now I have an 8 to 5 job. I have 3 kids, all of them are under 10. I'm doing a course, and I have a business on the side. And I said to myself, of course you will be stressed. I mean, how can you think that you can do all this and still have the energy and the peace of mind to put it all together? A woman's life or a woman's journey is not the same as a man's journey. So, for example, you can be in the same classroom with your mates. You both went to do medicine, you both went to do architecture. For the male counterparts, their path is straight. They get to do the national service and it's go, go, go.
Yeah.
For you will take several detours, right? But what you need to know is that at the end of the day, you still get back on track. But you don't want to try and do go, go, go as the guys are doing. You will lose your children in the process. You could lose your marriage in the process. And we know that stuff like that matter a lot to us.
Yeah.
If your kids are 4 and 5, calm down. Get them to the point where they can manage themselves, at least to a point where if anything happens to them, they know they can express themselves properly, so you know what is going on. Then you can take up the course. You may have to be in the same position for a while longer than maybe your motivational speaker has told you, but the reality of life is that you don't want to sacrifice your children for your career, because you will regret it in the long run.
This is Sunny 88.7 FM, and we're live on Facebook and YouTube. We are with these great moms. I have Karen Halm, she's COO of Spectra Global. She's an architect, also a radiologist, Dr. Ewurama Idun with me. I have some messages on Facebook. Seth Queno says, that's my twin sis, so proud of you. Wemina is also watching us. This one says, can I get the contact of the woman who needs help? We'll speak about that. And Seth is also watching, says, God bless you. I have a message here. This one says, the full-time course question. I'm going to ask, are there other maybe certification courses you can take on the weekends that build up towards that full-time course? I think you responded to that, that yes, you can get courses like that. Let me get into I want to know how, for instance, Dr. Ewurama, if I'm right, you're working remotely now from home, or it's changed a bit since the last time we spoke?
Yes.
Okay.
I go to work, but I can still work.
You can also.
Yes.
I want to know, how are you able to ensure quality time with your family? I remember one of the ladies we spoke to on the Easier Motherhood Series, she said at a point she left her career, her job at the bank because she felt she wanted to have time for her family. And then she came home, started her work, and she says, I was there physically, but mentally I was away.
Yeah.
I want to know how when you're home, and everybody knows, your children know mommy is home. Your family knows mommy is home. And Karen, I want you to also let us know how you make that happen, spending quality time with your family. Dr. Ewurama.
All right, so I went into radiology because I wanted to be present for my children, you know. Radiology has to do with interpreting images, and you can always bring the images home to come and report, and then send the report back to email or something. So you may not really need to be physically present. So that's why I really did radiology. So I have time for myself, have time for my children especially. What I do, I started working remotely, since I started radiology, because we used to put all the images on a CD and bring them home. So what I do is that, let's say if I'm reporting in the hall, the children are all around, they will be playing, so I'll be there. And when they have to ask me a question, I stop.
Okay.
And I make them, so I'm working, but they don't see that mommy is away. Because anytime they ask me questions, I'll answer. And sometimes we'll be in the kitchen cooking. My laptop will be on my lap in the kitchen. So while they are talking, we are talking, put this one on fire, cut this one, I'm still working. So it doesn't sound like mommy is home, but he's not available.
Okay.
No.
She's locked up in a tiny office somewhere. You can't access her. Okay, that's how you do it.
And I'm able to concentrate and still talk.
Wow.
Or still listen to music. I'm able to do that.
Wow.
Because in school, I used to learn with music. Without music, I couldn't learn. So nothing distracts me. If I'm really focused to do whatever I'm doing now. So whilst I'm at home working on my computer, when they're around, if you have to play with them, we do that. If you have to talk, I stop and talk. So it doesn't look like mommy is working and it's not
paying attention to
us. Because, you know, I deal with the children ministry. And sometimes you hear things like, mommy and daddy are not available.
You hear that from your children
they think
ministry?
that love is just buying KFC and papaya.
The children tell you that?
Oh, yes. They are never available. So, with that...
The children have been asking for the KFC. They are saying that that's not
what
they want more than that.
Mommy and daddy think
They think.
Yes, that love is just, showing love is just buying KFC and they are never available. They won't sit down and talk to you. Mommy is not my friend, daddy is not my friend. Yeah, that's a lot.
Wow.
So, for me, my children are my friends. I mean, we talk. They come to my room whilst I'm working. Sometimes I'm on my bed, they're on the bed. We'll be singing, I'll be teaching them songs and all that. They are there. They see mommy working, but mommy is also
there. Let me get to Karen. Karen, how do you ensure that when you have quality time with the children, it's not just time, but it's quality time? They know mommy's here with us when you're home.
Yeah. So I've had to be very intentional about it. I think we've had a couple of conversations where I told you that I do a lot of time blocking. So when I close from work and we come home, so for me, it's not every day that, because I run my own business, sometimes when they close from school, they come through the office. If that day I haven't closed, they come to the office, and then they literally spend their time in my office. So they will do their homework on my desk. So they sit opposite me. They will do their homework on my desk. They will eat their food on my desk. So when you come to my office, if any of my employees come to my office during the period when my kids are there, you will see homework, you will see grains of rice on the floor.
Wow.
You know, sometimes when my husband opens the door, he just closes and goes back because he doesn't understand I'm able to work in this seeming chaos.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I'm doing my work, they're also doing their work. So by the time we get home, they've had their supper, they have had their homework, I've been able to check, there's peace of mind. There are also times when, if I'm able to close early, we have what we call family night. So every Saturday night, they know it's family night, where we have special meals, finger foods, this, that, and we watch a movie together, we play board games together, and it's consistent. if I try to get off, they will say, but mommy, today is family night.
They
will make sure that I'm available to have the family night. And then also Sunday brunch. So after church on Sunday, everybody likes jollof.
Okay.
So I'll prepare jollof. There's always more than one meal, the Saturday weekends, because on Monday to Friday I can't do all that heavy cooking, so that one is just functional. Let's go. But on weekends, then I take my time, do various meals, and they do it together. So whilst we are I'm putting the meal together, they are also with me in the kitchen, they will talk. What happened in school, their friend, the teacher, they will tell you everything, right? And then also my study was close to their study, so, and there was no door, so like I was in the corridor and they had
access.
Exactly. So even if I have to work at home, I'm at my study, all right, but they can just walk to me, or they can just sit and call me, mommy, I don't understand this. Then I'll go there, and for some reason I'm thankful to God that I was able to manage that. So I'm still able to get my work done, but still be able to attend to them.
With them.
So that's
I have a voice listen to.
JJD, I think motherhood is sacrifice for these children. If you don't take care, we will break our home with our courses, our short courses, and whatever. Just look at the time. Is it right for me to go for this course? Is it right? Weigh the difference, what you are going to lose, what you are going to gain. I'm driving, that is why I'm doing this this voice note. JJD, I know of a friend. She has lost 3 of her children, 3 boys. Now one is just a gay, one is a gay. The 2, we don't know where they are. Just because I had to do this course, I had to do this one, I had to do this one, I had to do this one. At the end of the day, the money is in, but she's not enjoying now. And now she cries, she regrets. So we have to weigh. We need to update ourselves. But as we are updating ourselves and we are running after the money, let us wait and see what we can do at the right time. Thank you.
Hey, that is with us this morning on the iMDrive. I saw you both smile. It's a serious matter. We want to have it all at the same time. Anyway, we have just about a few minutes to wrap up, and I think I'll let you go on. If there's a word on your heart you want to share with moms out there listening, and the young moms who are in a confused state about decisions they need to make. And also, maybe as you're wrapping up, you can share with us what you do for your me time as your mom, as your own self-care stuff you do as a mom for yourself to help you re-energize and get back to be the mom your children need. So maybe I can start with Dr. Ewurama. We have just about 3 minutes to go, so one and a half.
So I make time for myself. I'm a very, very busy person. I'm busy at work. I teach in addition. I teach my residents who are becoming a radiologist. I teach medical students. I teach nursing students. So I'm very busy. And then at church, I'm a pastor in the youth ministry. I prepare my messages and student ministry. But I make time for myself. I like chilling. So I make time to go out and chill. Sometimes a weekend I can go to a hotel, just stay there and the whole day myself, no phones. And pamper myself. And then I make time, I just make sure I make time for myself. I make time to read. I make time to write my devotional. I make time to, sometimes I even compose songs.
Oh, interesting. Let me get to Karen then as we wrap up. Karen, if there's any word on your heart you want to share with moms, and briefly what you also do too for your me time or self-care practices.
Okay. I think I've shared this in the earlier.
Please get closer to your microphone.
Sure. I would say that pace yourself. There are stages in a woman's life, so figure out where you are and what you can do and what you can't do in order not to sacrifice your children, because you don't want to look back when you are 50, 60 and be full of regrets. So please pace yourself and don't sacrifice your children along the way. The second thing I would say is that use the support systems. Nobody's asking you to be superwoman. Nobody's asking you to be Wonder Woman. Use your support systems, right? And when someone offers help, it doesn't mean the person thinks you are incapable. The person just wants to help. But sometimes the help comes and we reject it because, well, we feel guilty. We think a mother is supposed to do it all. It's not true, right? And if you are not a single mother, you have a husband. You are not supposed to do this by yourself. You didn't create the babies by yourself, you know? So your husband is also supposed to play a role in raising the children. You're supposed to carry all that weight on your head. Okay, so that's what I have to say, so that you don't lose your joy in the process and all of that. And for me, what I do is I like to walk. I like music a lot, so those are some of the things I do. And I like reading, but there are times that I'm able to pick a physical book to read, but I still need the knowledge, so I do audiobook. Okay, right? So, and sometimes when we get home and I fix supper for the children, then I said, okay, I'm going for a run. And they know that they know where I'm going to go. So once they are eating, I don't have to be there. So then I exit and then go for my run. And
I wish I could go on with Karen and Dr. Ewurama, but my time is up. I feel like I'm just starting this, but we've got to make way for Empowered Living with Yawa Hansikwa. Thank you for joining us, whether on Facebook or via YouTube, listening to us on the radio. We're back, God willing, tomorrow with another mom to share her journey with us. Karen, thank you so much for coming through. Dr. Ewurama, God bless you for coming through as well. And JJD, thank you for joining us right here on the iMDrive. You know what to do. Keep smiling, keep shining, be loved. Don't gain the whole world and lose your soul. So know that a life without Jesus Christ is absolutely no life at all.